Alrighty, Sleep Token. Sleep Token is a band that has mostly passed me by, other than that one song that I think went super viral. I'm assuming it's probably their most popular song, which is what I have loaded up here, The Summoning. I'm assuming it's that one. That seemed to be their most played on Spotify. That's how I picked which song to choose to react to today. I have been listening to metal for about 20 years, but I am predominantly into sort of 80s classic metal, speed metal, black metal, thrash, death, that kind of side of things. So I think whenever I did hear that viral clip of Sleep Token, you know, the one that's like did I mistake you for a that one, I hope that's Sleep Token. If not, I've made a terrible mistake. I kind of just assumed it wasn't for me. But there's a particular type, I think, of clean vocal that I often don't really feel myself drawn to, and I think it is possibly the style of clean that is in Sleep Token. But they are huge. I have a lot of friends who like them. Anyway, this is my first listen to The Summoning by Sleep Token, and without further ado, I guess we'll just jump in, huh? Alright, it's almost like slightly more progressive sounding than I thought it was going to be. Those kind of like the switch ups that you get, the rhythm of it. There's a comparison that I'm making to a band in my head already, but I'm going to wait and hear some more before I actually say what I feel like it's reminding me of in terms of my like sort of personal like listening history, as it were. I actually didn't know if there was going to be harsh vocals or not. This is not what I expected, you know. This is not what I expected at all. The way it switches up is so prog. That's really not what I thought. I didn't really expect that. I don't know why. Well, I don't really know what I was expecting, to be honest. The comparison that I want to make is to Catatonia, funnily enough. There's an album by Catatonia, Night is the New Day, which came out, I think, it's like 2010 or something like that. It reminds me a lot of that. I love that album. I have that album on vinyl. I hardly ever listen to bands that sounds like that specifically, but I adore that album. And this weirdly reminds me of that. I like the synth and the piano a lot. Just waiting to see where this is going. Oh shit, that's how it ends. It's so proggy. Yeah, no one told me that. I don't suppose I ever asked. It's really not what I thought it was going to be. It's there's so many things in there where I think my brain draws comparisons quite a lot. Whenever I listen to music, my brain is always like, oh, what does this sound like? What does this remind you of? You know, there's quite a few comparisons I can tell. Like that sort of like Catatonia, like 2010's Catatonia. The sort of the way that the drums and the distortion with the harsh vocals kind of reminds me of almost like 2000s like nu metal almost, with the sort of just with the distortion and things like that. Let's go back to the start real quick. Also love that the video is literally just someone's like Warhammer OC just in a room. It's very Catatonia, that bit. You can hit them notes and all, yeah. I didn't really know whether or not they would have harsh vocals. I suppose it would make sense that they would. This is so this is so like what everyone in my high school was listening to back in the day. I actually prefer this kind of delivery, that kind of like the rhythm that he's kind of slipped into here, because obviously it's the same lyrics from near the start of the song, right? You got my body, flesh and bone. I actually prefer the way it's delivered here in this section, to the kind of sort of like almost like off rhythm way that it's done at the start of the song. And then into the little solo. Just obsessed with the fact that Matey seems to be holding a Christmas decoration in his right hand. A little bit early for that big man. Yeah, it feels very... that kind of like... it's only a little tiny section, but it's like almost has that kind of like... that kind of dirty like 2000s. Just that wee little section there. Yeah. Changes up a lot, doesn't it? I almost wish it would like... well, to be fair, the song is like 6.5 minutes long. I was going to say I almost wish that it would commit to certain sections for ever so slightly longer. Still a big fan of the samples and stuff in here, though. I'm a big fan of samples and synths in metal. I feel like people should do that more. Yeah, and this is the bit that was like... I can see why. That's perfect for the sort of social media virality that we get now. I think like that section of the song is just is perfect for TikTok. So I understand why I heard that before I heard any other thing by Sleep Token. It's interesting because I almost feel like the vocals are not what you would when you hear him singing like that. I don't know if it's the accent or the way that he kind of delivers the lines. I feel like you just wouldn't expect to hear a voice like that in a band that kind of sounds and looks like Sleep Token. I don't necessarily mean that as a bad thing. I genuinely mean that I feel like you could hear his voice in so many other genres. I don't think if you know, if I just heard that vocal track clean with no music behind it, I genuinely wouldn't say that this was a metal artist just from hearing the vocals alone. It's almost like I could picture it being some sort of like indie or almost even like a country. They're like soulful sad boy cowboy. Big fan of the funky bass in that, though. I do like a funky bass line, I need to be honest. Also love that it's suggesting me Oasis after that. I can't completely see the connection, but... so yeah, not entirely what I expected. Really, I don't really know what I expected, to be honest. I know there's a lot of disdain for this band online as well as love. I do see a lot of people kind of saying, you know, it's not it's not real metal and stuff like that. But to be honest, I've been hearing that line about so many bands literally since I discovered metal music as a kid. So that kind of doesn't really mean anything, at least to me nowadays anyway. As I said, it's definitely more progressive than I expected it to be. I don't really know if all of their stuff really sounds like that. It's almost like there's a kind of delicacy throughout the song that's then kind of like hard juxtaposed to the distortion and the kind of like the slight addition of harsh vocals. Obviously there wasn't very many. I don't know again if there's like another song of theirs that has primarily harsh vocals. I know that they did recently bring out a new album. I don't know how similar it sounds to this. I don't know if all of their stuff sounds like this or if they sort of switch up the sound depending on the album. Perhaps I should take a listen to one of their newer tracks. I'm not actually sure when this came out. 2 years ago. I thought it was longer than that actually. 36 million views. I also kind of thought maybe it would be more than that. Yeah. The top comment here is what genre? What genre are you? It is a good point. I would hesitate to call them metalcore or something like that. I don't really know. There's a lot going on that I kind of wasn't expecting. I think in summation, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I don't think the style of cleans is particularly for me. Also, despite what I said about them reminding me a lot of Night is the New Day and by Catatonia, which I love, that kind of bouncing between genres within a song is not always particularly what hits for me. It's definitely not as bad as people online seem to want to make them out to be. At least to my taste. Either way though, if you want me to hear something else by them, please do just let me know down below. This is actually my first ever music reaction video. I've never done one before. You might have noticed that this channel is brand new. Just a little baby. So if you liked it, you know what to do. I'm not going to tell you. You already know. You already know. Press the button. Let me know what else you want to see down below. If you have any questions for me, leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.